Hi everyone, today I will explain to you what it is that the reaccumulation of Wyckoff. So have you seen the previous video about Wyckoff accumulation? So here we are going to see what Wyckoff reaccumulation is. If you type on the internet, you will see this type of pattern. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what that corresponds to. So I take my charter back here. So I schematized you. On the first Sunday here, we notice a higher point, followed by a lower one before a bullish trend. As we observe after the bullish movement, there's a bearish trend, and then it turns bullish once again. Hence, reaccumulation refers to this sequence: a bullish move, a bearish move, and then another bullish move. Keep that in mind. For the first time, there is a distribution with a preliminary supply, a buying climax, an automatic ready, a second test, an uptrust, a Utah. It can sometimes happen that there is no Utah. At that time we break the last low before Utah. So here in this case we break the last lowest. A test of the possible imbalance is carried out again. Or go back to the order block to close the negative orders. Go see the video on the order blocks if you haven't seen it yet. And then we start the continuity of the downward movement of the distribution. We make a click. So a click. It's a kind of channel like this that actually represents resistance and support for retail traders. So it creates liquidity for the composite itself. This price movement is very slow. Then this triple is liquidated by an accumulation. Finally, the beginning of an accumulation that arrives here in the DMED. I told you at the beginning of reaccumulation with a selling climax, an automatic rally, a second test, a second test. In B we do it here. We don't break. Sorry, you're going to put that down low. That's it. And here we don't break. The last highest, we descend again to make a spring. We break the last one higher by making a change of the structure. We go back down to mitigate the possible balance or return to close the orders in negative in the order block. We start up again and we make more of the highs higher than the previous one, or at least up to this level usually. So this is the reaccumulation of 8 chests. So we're going to look now. You prepared on the US 30A a reaccumulation, a yes, that's a reaccumulation. Here we see what? We see a bullish movement followed by a bearish movement, followed again by a bullish movement. So we are indeed in a reaccumulation. Why? Because we have the bullish movement with preliminary support. Here is a buying climax, an automatic rally, which is located there. Hop, a second test. Here we start again. We do another trust. We continue. We do a UTA, the highest one here. Then we do a change of the structure here by breaking the last lowest one. They come back up, so they almost go back down into Adi main. They come back up first into line balance, which was here. You see, there is limberland between this wick and this wick, therefore, which perfectly mitigate a part of the limberlands here. They make the click here. Well, it's quite small. They're redoing the accumulation here. If we go down in a small time frame, we will see that there is I can go down that low, and then they make the second bullish movement. We're going to try to see if in 5 seconds we can maybe have done that. I'm going to do it like this. See the accumulation here. I'm going to give you a landmark like that. It's August 29. We're going to look at August 29. So approach now. Here she is sailing here. So we have the preliminary and support, forgiveness, the bailing climax, the automatic rally. The second test ENBE. We break the structure here. We continue. We return to the domain of who is there. and then we leave for higher ones. So here the accumulation was really done in a very small train size of 5 seconds compared to the minute which was in the explanation. Okay, so here you go. Try to go to the markets to spot it. This kind of thing, it will help you and it will allow you to better understand how composite men works and why it reaccumulates. And because sometimes we expect when there is a distribution to this, so we expect to see that, and then we will put a short position. When we are back there in a whale, we will put a short position here with a higher there, finally a stop there and a lower here, and then after we get out. So all this because in fact they have reaccumulated here. So you really have to be careful about that. And that's why most of the time, as soon as we take our position here, we have to get lock in right up there and lock ourselves up here, pop like that. If it ever comes back up, at least we haven't lost anything. And if one watches in small size dash, one can expect to have reaccumulation, especially if the movement comes from lower, from much lower. If we see this kind of thing there, I mean, wait, I'll show you this like this. Well, if you see this kind of thing, there you go, and you come from much lower down like this than that, it doesn't exist. So that doesn't exist. Well, we expect higher ones, okay? So in distribution, we don't expect to come lower unless at the top of the time frame, we are really on a supply that is much more important. But when we see this, we expect that there it will make a little distribution to make a reaccumulation somewhere in the Sunday here, which is refined. In this area that is less refined. So that's it. I hope that this little video will have opened your eyes to what is the reaccumulation of the chest. Do not hesitate to like me if you like the video, to subscribe to not miss any future other videos that will arrive. I will redistribute the chest, which is the same thing, but in fact in that sense we are like this. That's it. In redistribution, with a preliminary and support, tack, tack, tack. And so we first have a downward movement, an upward movement, and then a downward movement. But that is not the subject of the day. We'll do that in another video, and I'll show you how to make it clear and not mix it up. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.